Hello. Today I'm going to discuss stillness and patience in relation to the I-Ching, and also gardening because I like to garden and I also like to ferment, and I think both of those things have a lot to do with patience and waiting. And even just in life, I think, there are things that you desire, that you want, and sometimes they don't come to you when you want them to, but you have to kind of wait. And if you act on those things too early, you often ruin them. And so I think life in general is a lot of waiting around and learning how to let something grow and become what it needs to become. So I'm going to start with this quote from Lao Tzu from the Tao Te Ching. Do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the water is clear? I think that's quite profound. And do you have the patience for that? I certainly don't often. I lose my patience quite a lot, especially dealing with people. I think when I'm alone, it's a lot easier to be patient, but people can often try my patience and cause me to act when I don't want to act, and that's probably a weakness on my part, but I'm learning every day. So I'm mainly going to discuss the I-Ching here, but I'm not going to do a whole video on it. I will do that at a later date, probably. But this is mostly about a reading I had recently. As some of my viewers know, I'm into divination quite a lot. I have a video on the tarot if you want to check that out. The link is in the description. And I do both things quite often, the tarot and the I-Ching, and I guess to a lesser extent astrology, but I'm not that skilled in that, so that's a little more unknown to me. But as far as the I-Ching, recently I threw the coins and did a reading, and I will put probably the best book on the I-Ching up on the screen right now. I highly recommend this, so if you ever get a chance, check it out. It's probably the best. Well, they say it's the best translation. I don't know because I don't speak Chinese, but I get a lot from it. And many years ago, a dear friend of mine that was in my life for a short time gave me this book, and it has had a major effect on my life, even 20 years later. That person is not in my life anymore, but that gift has kept giving. So I got number 9, The Taming Power of the Small, in relation to this question I had about what I was supposed to do in a situation that in my heart was very I guess desired something but seemed sort of impossible, and so I got the taming power of the small, which basically means that the wind restrains the clouds. So what it's saying is that the gentle power can often tame the gentle power can tame great things. So I think, the smaller parts of ourselves can often tame the outside world by just standing still, by creating stillness and a sort of gentle power. And My secondary reading was 26, which is the Taming Power of the Great, which was interesting. I got both of those in tandem. And that's sort of the opposite, where the great power can tame the small things, and a lot of it is about holding back and waiting. So the fact that both of these readings had a lot to do with taming, I think, as if, if you have a pet, let's say, or a garden, as in this case, you often have to manage it in a way that it restrains its wildness. But if you kill the wildness, if you tame it too much, then you basically kill the life. So you have to kind of cultivate it and be patient with it and sort of see how it grows. And I think this, in relation to what I was desiring, I think this was very true. If I acted too fast, or if I was too eager, it would not come. So in this case, that's a lot about stillness. Can you be still? Can you wait? It's hard, especially if you're exposed to this thing a lot, and the temptation is there, but you don't want to ruin it, so you cultivate it little by little, and your intuition sort of knows that it's something that's important and that you should go after it, but it also knows that you have to kind of hold on. And I think there's something very wise in waiting until the proper time. Maybe that's something that I failed a lot when I was younger, is you sort of leap before you look, and causes a lot of problems often. So waiting, I think, is maybe the most difficult thing to do. You have to wait for the fruit, as if it's a garden. You plant the seed, you water it, you nurture it, prune it, cultivate it as much as you can to the point where it's sort of the optimal conditions for the fruit to come, or to bear fruit. And there's so many steps along the way where you can ruin it. You can overwater it, too much sun, transplant it at the wrong time. There's just many places it can fail. And I think in life, our relationships with people are often the same. You can, one little misstep, and it can really destroy what you're trying to grow. So I don't know. I guess my point is that it's the hardest thing to wait. People want success. They want it now. They often have to wait. People want to be good at something, and they think they can take shortcuts, and they often fail because they're not ready. And so I think there's great wisdom in knowing when to be ready. That's all I got for today. Take care.